The golden age of Hollywood, a time of glamour, legends, and unforgettable classics. But behind the sparkle of stardom and the charm of studio lights, there was also controversy. Today, we uncover 10 of the most controversial films from that era. Movies that shocked audiences, challenged the system, or even got banned.
Mr. McCarroll, you're certainly all getting familiar.
Don't you have any fun-loving spirit about you?
Well, this isn't fun.
1. The Birth of a Nation, 1915. We begin with The Birth of a Nation, a film that changed cinema forever, and not always for the better. Released in 1915 and directed by D.W. Griffith, it was a technical marvel for its time. With sweeping battle scenes, dramatic close-ups, and groundbreaking editing, it helped define the language of modern filmmaking. But its content is deeply troubling. The film glorifies the Ku Klux Klan and portrays Black Americans using offensive stereotypes, many played by white actors in blackface. It rewrote history to promote white supremacy and sparked widespread outrage. Despite massive protests led by the NAACP, the film was a commercial hit and even screened at the White House. Its legacy is a painful contradiction, admired for its craft, condemned for its message. The Birth of a Nation remains a powerful reminder that movies can both shape history and distort it. 2. Baby Doll, 1956. Next on the list is Baby Doll, a 1956 drama written by Tennessee Williams and directed by Elia Kazan. The film centers on a childlike young bride, played by Carol Baker, caught in a tense, seductive power struggle between her aging husband and a rival. While it never showed explicit scenes, its tone was deeply suggestive, filled with innuendo, tension, and uncomfortable intimacy. The Catholic Legion of Decency condemned it as moral slime, urging boycotts across the country. Several countries banned it outright, and the film's poster, featuring Baker lounging in a crib-like bed, only fueled the controversy. Despite the backlash, Baby Doll received 4 Academy Award nominations and is now seen as a bold exploration of repression, desire, and Southern Gothic decay. It pushed boundaries for what Hollywood could portray, showing that even suggestion, not action, could spark a cultural firestorm. 3. Freaks, 1932. In 1932, Todd Browning shocked Hollywood with Freaks, a film unlike anything audiences had seen before. Set in a traveling circus, it featured real-life sideshow performers with physical disabilities, portraying their lives with surprising empathy and realism. But at the time, this was considered deeply disturbing. Audiences walked out of theaters. Critics called it grotesque, and the film was banned in the UK for over 30 years. The studio, MGM, was so horrified by the backlash they pulled it from circulation and disowned the film. Browning's career never fully recovered, but over time, Freaks found new life. Modern critics view it as a bold and even progressive work, one that challenges the true meaning of monstrosity. While the able-bodied characters act cruelly, it's the so-called freaks who show loyalty, love, and humanity. Once vilified, Freaks is now a cult classic, decades ahead of its time. 4. The Outlaw, 1943. Howard Hughes may have been an aviation tycoon, but in 1943, he took on Hollywood and its censors with The Outlaw. Starring Jane Russell, the Western wasn't controversial for its plot, but for how it showcased her figure. Hughes famously designed a custom bra to accentuate Russell's cleavage, though she later claimed she never wore it. Still, the camera angles left little to the imagination. The Production Code Administration objected to the film's overt sexuality, delaying its release for nearly 5 years. Hughes cleverly turned censorship into publicity, stirring media buzz and teasing audiences with ads that promised scandal. When the film finally hit theaters, protesters lined up outside, and so did ticket buyers. The controversy made it a box office success. The Outlaw challenged Hollywood's moral codes and proved that sex appeal and controversy could sell just as much as star power. 5. Gone with the Wind, 1939. Gone with the Wind is often hailed as one of the greatest films ever made, a sweeping Civil War epic packed with romance, drama, and iconic performances. But beneath its cinematic beauty lies a legacy of controversy. The film romanticizes the antebellum South, portraying plantation life as elegant and noble, while glossing over the brutal realities of slavery. Its depiction of black characters is steeped in stereotype, with roles like Mammy reinforcing offensive tropes. Even at the time, the film sparked criticism. The NAACP voiced concerns, and actress Hattie McDaniel, the first black actor to win an Oscar, was not even allowed to sit with white co-stars at the ceremony. In recent years, Gone with the Wind has faced renewed scrutiny. Some platforms have pulled or recontextualized it, adding disclaimers about its content. It's a film that remains beloved and debated to this day. 6. The Public Enemy, 1931. The Public Enemy hit theaters in 1931 and changed the gangster genre forever. James Cagney's electrifying performance as Tom Powers, a ruthless bootlegger rising during Prohibition, shocked Depression-era audiences. The film didn't shy away from violence or from showing the dark glamour of the criminal underworld. One scene where Cagney smashes a grapefruit into a woman's face became iconic and controversial. Critics and moral watchdogs feared the film glorified crime and could corrupt young viewers. It arrived during a time when real-life gangsters like Al Capone dominated headlines, making the story feel dangerously close to reality. The Public Enemy was part of a wave of gritty pre-code films that tested Hollywood's moral boundaries. Its success helped spark tighter censorship rules just a few years later, but also cemented the gangster archetype we still see today. Gritty, raw, and groundbreaking, it was crime cinema's first true blueprint. 7. Island of Lost Souls, 1932. Released in 1932, Island of Lost Souls was the first film adaptation of H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau, and it terrified audiences with its dark, unsettling vision. The story follows a shipwrecked man who stumbles upon a remote island where the mysterious Dr. Moreau conducts horrifying experiments, turning animals into human-like creatures through painful vivisection. These hybrid beings, with grotesque makeup and tortured expressions, disturbed viewers more than any monster movie of its time. The film's eerie atmosphere, moral ambiguity, and unsettling themes of playing God led to bans in countries like the UK and Germany, some lasting decades. Even H.G. Wells himself reportedly disliked the film, calling it overly horrific. Charles Laughton's chilling performance as Dr. Moreau, combined with the haunting chant, "Are we not men?" made it a psychological nightmare rather than mere horror. Island of Lost Souls was too intense for its era, but today it's seen as a horror landmark. 8. The Maltese Falcon, 1941. Today, The Maltese Falcon is hailed as a film noir masterpiece, but when it was made in 1941, it nearly didn't get past the censors. Adapted from Dashiell Hammett's hardboiled novel, the story follows private detective Sam Spade, played with gritty charm by Humphrey Bogart, as he navigates a web of lies, betrayal, and murder. But it wasn't just the violence that worried Hollywood's production code. The film included subtle references to drug use, sexual relationships outside of marriage, and even hints of homosexuality, particularly in the character of Joel Cairo, played by Peter Lorre. That, combined with morally ambiguous characters and a cynical worldview, made censors uneasy. Earlier attempts to film the novel in the 1930s had already been shut down for being too risque. Still, director John Huston's stylish direction and Bogart's tough, no-nonsense performance helped push it through, redefining the antihero and launching a new era of crime cinema. 9. A Streetcar Named Desire, 1951. When A Streetcar Named Desire hit theaters in 1951, it stunned audiences with its raw emotion and bold performances. Marlon Brando's electrifying turn as Stanley Kowalski introduced a new kind of screen acting, gritty, explosive, and intensely physical. Adapted from Tennessee Williams' controversial stage play, the film tackled taboo subjects, sexual violence, mental illness, and repressed desire. But Hollywood's strict Hays Code forced major changes. The original play's most shocking moments, including Blanche's traumatic past and the brutal rape scene, were heavily softened or implied rather than shown. Even the film's ending was altered to punish the abuser, something not present in the play. Despite the censorship, Streetcar pushed boundaries like few films before it. Its emotional intensity, adult themes, and raw sexuality helped shift what Hollywood could show and marked a turning point in American cinema. It didn't just win awards, it changed the rules. 10. Black Narcissus, 1947. Black Narcissus, 1947, may have been a British production, but it rattled U.S. censors with its haunting blend of sensuality, spirituality, and psychological tension, all centered around a group of nuns. Set in a remote Himalayan convent, the film follows Anglican nuns trying to establish a mission in an abandoned palace, once home to concubines. As the isolation, exotic setting, and repressed desires intensify, the nuns begin to unravel, especially Sister Ruth, whose descent into jealousy and madness is both tragic and terrifying. The use of vibrant Technicolor only amplified the film's unsettling tone. The lush cinematography by Oscar-winning Jack Cardiff made every frame feel dreamlike, even nightmarish. Its bold themes, including sexual tension, spiritual doubt, and mental illness, were considered too provocative for American audiences at the time. Some critics even called it blasphemous. Yet today, Black Narcissus is hailed as a cinematic triumph, both visually breathtaking and psychologically profound. From racial tensions and moral panic to defiance of censorship laws, these films weren't just controversial. They changed how Hollywood told stories. And in doing so, they shaped cinema history for better or worse. Speech Balloon, what do you think? Should these films be remembered, revisited, or retired? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you love uncovering the hidden truths of classic Hollywood. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep the reels spinning.